Hi, welcome to another Cajun toy review. This is part of our Halloween horror month. We're going to be doing several horror figures throughout the month, building up to what I consider to be the scariest toy of all time. And today we're going to be looking at one of my favorite film series and one of the most iconic alien characters of all time, the Xenomorph the Alien from the movie original Alien. This is by Neca Toys. This is the Big Chap, the Ultimate Edition. This is based off the alien from the very first film, The Drone, from that classic great movie that everybody should have seen, and perfect Halloween film. So, looking at this package, we got a picture of the original poster with that very mysterious egg cracking open. On the side, we got Alien logo with a bunch of eggs on the bottom. Of course, one opening up. Big Chap Ultimate Edition again. Of course, NECA Real Toys. On the back, we got some product shots. We got the drone, the Xenomorph right here. We also got it here in another shot where we can actually see the additional jaw sticking out. We got an egg with a face hugger popping out, looking awesome. And then we got a chest burster. And then, of course, got in space, no one can hear you scream. It's very small. In a remote region of the galaxy, the United States space tug Nostromo, carrying a cargo of mineral ore, makes a return earning the Earth. The ship's crew, 5 men, 2 women, and a cat, are awakened from their hypersleep chambers when Mother, the ship's onboard computer, monitoring the strange transmission. According to the company, RLE, the crew must investigate the signal, indicating possible intelligent life. What begins as a routine search for missing quickly escalates into a nightmare of unimaginable terror, and the crew discovers and brings aboard an extraterrestrial life form. It includes an egg, chest burster, and face hugger. Yeah, man, I need my glasses are working overtime today trying to read that. Top just got a bigger logo, and of course, you see this has been out for a while. Don't think anybody's really looking for it. But inside we can see a nice shot of our drone standing there looking like one of the original Geiger paintings. That looks really awesome. We can see the drone inside there looking cool. Chest burster, face hugger, and our egg. So this looks really awesome. Alright, so let's go ahead and burst it out. Alright, and we're looking at our Xenomorph Alien out of the package, and this thing is freaking awesome. Like, look at the detail on this figure. The paint, just like the translucent on the dome of his head and stuff like that. Everything, just the paint on the egg looks wet. Man, oh man, this is a really awesome figure, and really does justice to the Xenomorph and the Alien. I'm digging it. So what we'll do is we'll look at the I guess I don't even want to call it accessories because it's all part of the life form. It's all kind of the same thing. So we'll look at like the chest buster, the egg, and the face hugger, and then we'll look at the drone, the Xenomorph, the Alien, in that order. So let's get into it. So looking at the accessories that come with our Xenomorph, we got a face hugger, chest burster, and this awesome super detailed egg and stuff like that. And yeah, this is pretty crazy looking. So let's start with, I guess, the face. Start with the egg. We're gonna go in the order of evolution. So it basically has 2 parts. So you put it together, and there's got a little groove on there where you kind of snap it in. And it took me a second. I wanted to glue it, but after the fact, but to make sure I showed you guys how it looks apart. There's lots of detail in here, just like all this like organic material, these like tendrils kind of coming out. It just looks amazing. Just so much like detail work in there, and it's got like it's like a black paint, and there's like almost like a rusty wash, greenish wash kind of coming over it and stuff like that. It just looks fantastic, guys. And then the inside is really detailed. We can see all this like webbing right here, and then it's got like almost like a membrane it looks really really good. And it's got this kind of, you can see almost where it's got I guess it would be fluid or alien ooze be on there, kind of staining the white top. Just yeah, see it comes pretty loose, but this looks really cool. You can kind of get the face hugger. You get the face hugger kind of coming out of it. It does have bendies in the tail, so you can kind of get something going on in there if you want it, like that. But it looks really good. It scales pretty well with most like 6-7 inch figures and stuff like that. So if you wanted one of your figures to be looking into it or whatever, you could definitely do that pretty easily and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty big. That's the Richard. And then looking at our chest burster, this also has a bendy tail, so you can actually kind of, if you wanted to position that a different way, if you want to have it like kind of on the side of a table or underneath somebody, I guess a little bit coming out underneath the arm, however you wanted to do that. But really really good detail on this guy. You can see the teeth already, silver teeth in there. That black jaw just looks like it goes on forever. And then got a little bit of the plane flying over, excuse that. But and then of course the blood. This just came out of Kane or whoever, and that just looks sick. You kind of see one more arms coming out. Really really cool, guys. Look at that. And then it's like I said, it's decent length. It does have a bendy tail. So, and I'm out of order. I realized with Evolution, I got excited. Now for the face hugger, the fingers don't bend. I wish they did, where you can lock it around. But then it's actually the tail that actually has the bendy pieces in there. So, if you want to wrap around someone's neck, you would probably have to put like maybe some tape or something. But yeah, so much detail. You got like kind of like the sacks right here, and then underneath, I didn't expect to see this much paint underneath this figure like this, but you can see all this different like flesh. I guess this is like the impregnator or whatever I don't even know what you call them, but basically the way these creatures work, these species work, if you're unfamiliar with it, is the eggs basically detect life. The face huggers come out. They wrap around, basically choking you and stuff like that, and they impregnate you with a parasite into inside of you, which gestates and very quickly grows into a chest burster. Chest burster comes out, and then very quickly grows into a drone, following the original Alien movies. Now there's been changes in the continuity, different things like that, but yeah, basically in the first movie, one of the crew members gets one of these on his face, which basically they can't cut off because they have acid for blood. And long story short, he dies when the chest buster comes out of him after the facehugger dies, and then that quickly turns into the xenomorph. So speaking of, let's take a look at our alien. And if you're unfamiliar with the alien or the xenomorph, it started in the 1979 film Alien by Ridley Scott. Now, me personally, the first movie I actually saw was Aliens, and that movie is more considered a sci-fi action movie, while the original Alien is more sci-fi horror. And I actually, as an adult, much more. I love both films. They're both amazing pieces of film, but I prefer the original just for the atmosphere, the look. I think it's great. The tension's a lot more, and I don't know. I love that universe they're in and stuff like that. The second one is just a lot more characters and stuff like that. It's not as dark. Haley's Hope is a lot different, and it goes by really quickly when you watch it. But anyway, awesome characters. They have crossed over pretty much into video games, comic books, crossover films, etc., etc. You name it. They probably Xenomorphs probably like Fortnite and everything else. But these characters basically are designed by H.R. Geiger, and they're designed to be very phallic, and it's supposed to infuse fear. I mean, basically these things face rape you and impregnate you with an alien. Now, I just want to touch on it real quick. In the original Alien movie, there's actually a cocooning scene that's deleted. I'll put the link in the notes. But originally, the drones could make new queens or make more. They basically turn people into the eggs, and it's a really, really messed up scene and really gross and really horrific. But that was kind of retconned and taken out when Aliens came out, and they added the queen. But it's worth checking out if you're a fan of the series and never actually seen it. It's pretty cool. It's out there online and stuff like that. So anyway, that's my little thing about Aliens. So now looking at the figure is actually it scales up really high. I mean, it needs to be a big figure. So here is DC Multiverse Superman, just basically next to it. That's a standard 6.5 inch figure. So you can see the Xenomorph, the drone, is a huge figure, which it should be. These things are deadly and powerful. Just one can kill a whole crew of people on a ship. But I mean, the sculpt on this guy is phenomenal. There's just so much detail on him. Just look at the head. You can actually see. I got a scuff on it. I dropped it already. But you can see inside of it. It's translucent. You can see all the different pieces of the head, and then all this tubing and stuff like that. And the jaw is movable. I don't even know. It's kind of hard to know where to start with this guy because there's so much to talk about. But just yeah, I mean, look at that jaw, look at those teeth. And of course, when you open it, you have that second mandible, that jaw that comes out. Mine's loose. I don't know if mine just if that's how all of them are, or it's just mine. I only have the one to compare it to. So, but yeah, if this thing comes out, you're in trouble, basically. Yeah, so have that second set of teeth, and of course the aliens have acid blood. Their saliva and stuff like that is deadly. In the film, that was all KY jelly. And just look at that detail on his head, and all these tubes that we see in here and stuff like that. Actually, on the head was all these tubes and everything in the head was parts from like a Rolls Royce engine in the film they used to make it. So, but just look at the detail in that skull, the translucentness on there, and just all the detail. Like you see, it got this appendage cable looking thing coming out of it. It just looks so organic, but at the same time, almost machine-like at times. And then the chest, I got that very, very protruded rib cage sticking on the outside. Of course, with like organic stuff kind of going on in there. You know, it's describing something that's very alien, no pun intended. So, you know. And then on the back, and this is different on different aliens. The head too changes depending on what type of alien it is. The drones are basically the ones you're probably most familiar with. Of course, the Praetorian, the Queen, King, and different ones depending on, you know, the Emperors, depending on what you're reading and what canon you're on. They all kind of have different heads and stuff like that. But for the most part, people are familiar with this version of the figure, the drone. And then also part of the alien physiology, is basically depending on what creature it basically ingests and impregnates and comes out of. So the drones look like this because they come out of a humanoid. Now, like an Alien 3, it comes out of a cow or a dog or a bull, depending on which version you're watching. And that one's a little bit more on the ground, running on all fours. But that's a whole other story. The tail, my tail, I actually had to stop recording earlier and fix it. It already came loose, so this is on a little tiny peg right there, and it does bend, but when I was trying to get it in some dramatic pose just for a little bit, it did come loose, so be careful with that. But yeah, this thing just looks phenomenal, and it's weird to talk about, like I said, because it's not a person, so you're not really talking about too much like human parts. You're kind of comparing it as similar as you can. But his articulation, he's got head not full rotation because of these cables and that, but you can look down a bit, look up a little bit, not too much at all actually. Does have a butterfly joint on the arms, so you can give big hugs if you want. There is rotation at the elbow with that joint, and at the wrist as well. We have flex, and there's no additional hands or anything like that. There's nothing for him to grab or nothing like that. There is rotation, oh yeah, at the waist, and you can get a good rock on that. And I'm gonna do a split. They do have a double jointed knees. There's no thigh cut or calf ankle cut. We do have the rocker on the foot, and then there's an ankle pivot. A toe pivot. And there's peg holes on the bottom of his feet, which will fit all the Neca stands. Stands pretty well on there. I kind of want mine hunched over a little bit more. So, and it works out pretty well. But yeah, this is a cool figure. Definitely a great horror figure. I'm excited to do the Predator counterpart and kind of talk about those, and have both those on my shelf. So anyway, this is just one of the many horror figures that we'll be doing this month. Keep checking back. We'll be building up into, like I said, the scariest figure of all time, in my opinion. But if there's requests and stuff like that, put them in there, because it might be one that I'm doing it, but it might be one I don't have yet, and I might be able to get it before the end of the month. So put it in the comments as suggestions, and look forward to hearing from you guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Anybody who's recently subscribed or at all, thank you so much. The channel's been growing quite a bit, and it's really exciting. I'm invested in a lot more equipment. We're going to be having a green screen. We're going to be stepping up into more and more of a studio thing. Also, doing a podcast. It's basically 80s and 90s TV shows, video games, etc. We've been uploading older episodes of that, and we'll be recording new episodes as well. If you're interested in that, check in the notes and stuff like that. Check in the description for this episode. They have a link to that, and I don't know, you might like it. If you do, let me know. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching so much. Catch you in the next video. Take care of yourself.